This is the Levoit Vital 100 Air Purifier. My honest first impression, it's straightforward in the best way. I had it up and running in just a few minutes without any guesswork. I pulled off the front cover, took the filter out of its plastic bag, set it back in with the pull tabs facing out, and made sure the pre-filter layer sat on the outside. That's basically it for setup. I did skim the manual because it has the safety notes and the little how-tos you don't want to miss, but nothing about it felt overwhelming. Key features that stood out to me the moment I started using it are the simple controls, the 3-stage filter, and the practical extras that make daily use easier. The filtration stack is classic and effective. A pre-filter to catch hair and dust bunnies, an activated carbon layer to help with odors and light smoke, and a HEPA layer for the tiny stuff you can't see. If you're new to purifiers, that's the basic pipeline. Big particles get trapped first, smell-causing molecules get absorbed in the carbon, and the smallest particles land in the HEPA. I cook a lot and I also have a shedding pet, so that combination matters to me more than any fancy feature list. From my experience, the 3 fan speeds cover most situations. Low is whisper quiet and good for sleeping. Medium is what I use most of the time. It balances noise and cleaning power so I can still watch TV or have a conversation without thinking about the fan. High is strong and moves a lot of air, which I lean on when I've been frying or when I want a quick refresh after guests leave. The manual says the noise level on low is around 23 dB, and to my ears that checks out. It's a soft air sound, not a whine, so it fades into the background. High is audible, but it's not a harsh tone. If you're sensitive to noise, low or medium will likely be your sweet spot. The display off option is a small thing I ended up appreciating at night. I don't love glowing lights in a dark room, so being able to kill the panel glow makes it feel invisible. The timer has 2, 4, and 8-hour options. I used 2 hours after cooking, 8 hours overnight, and I liked that I didn't have to remember to turn it off. There's also a filter indicator that lights up so you don't have to guess when maintenance is due. When I did my first clean, I vacuumed the pre-filter to remove the hair and lint it had grabbed. The pre-filter is washable if it gets grimy, and keeping that outer layer clean helps the inner carbon and HEPA last longer. When it's time to swap the main filter set, you reset the light with a long press, which is quick and painless. In my opinion, the performance is solid for the size. On max speed, it can refresh a 300 SQFT space in roughly 18 minutes. I tested it after a smoky pan session and noticed the cooking smell drop off in about that window. It's rated to handle larger areas up to around 500 SQFT effectively, which lined up with my open living area and kitchen. It doesn't pretend to be a massive whole home system, but it does more than what smaller desktop units can manage. And even though it has decent coverage, the body is still compact enough to fit next to a couch or a dresser. It's about 6.4 inches deep, 12.8 inches wide, and 16.1 inches tall, so it tucks in without dominating the room. I was a little unsure at first about whether I'd have to babysit it or fiddle with settings all day. That never happened. It's the opposite of complicated. No app, no sensor readouts, no learning curve. If you want color-coded air quality lights and auto mode that ramps the fan by itself, this model doesn't offer that. If you want an appliance you set to the speed you like and forget about for hours, this fits that lane. I actually appreciated the lack of distractions. I just picked the speed and I'm done. Daily use taught me a couple of things about placement and upkeep. Giving it a bit of breathing room helps a lot. I don't push it right up against a wall or a couch. A little space around the intake and top exhaust makes it more efficient. I had the best odor control when I caught smells early. Turning it to high right after cooking prevented lingering scents better than trying to fix them hours later. For dust, I saw the biggest difference by leaving it on medium most of the day and dropping to low in the evening. The air just feels calmer, if that makes sense. Less visible dust on dark furniture and fewer sneezes when I'm tidying up. It's perfect for bedrooms, small living rooms, studios, and home offices, especially if you own pets or cook often. The carbon layer helps tame kitchen smells, and the pre-filter keeps pet fluff from clogging the main filter too fast. I'd recommend this for anyone who wants dependable filtration and simple controls at a reasonable size. If you're techie and want app scheduling or live air quality numbers, you might miss those features here. If your priority is clean air without a learning curve, this is a strong pick. Build quality feels sturdy for the price. The front panel pops on and off easily for filter access, and the buttons have a reassuring click. Nothing wobbles or rattles. Cleaning the pre-filter is very basic. I either vacuum it with a brush attachment or rinse and dry it if it's really dusty. That small habit has been the difference between a purifier that keeps pace and one that slowly loses power. If you're prone to forgetting maintenance, the filter light is a helpful nudge. When it triggers, plan on replacing the carbon and HEPA layers, then reset the light after the swap. The manual spells out the exact steps in case you're new to it. Value-wise, I think it makes sense for people who care about results over bells and whistles. The air turnover feels strong for its footprint, the noise is gentle, and the controls make sense. Some purifiers overcomplicate simple tasks. This one keeps it clean and functional. I don't have to explain it to guests. They press speed, they get clean air, and that's that. From my experience, the Vital 100 hits the core needs. It captures visible dust and pet hair. It reduces that lingering pan-fry smell, and it's easy to live with day to day. The only recurring thought I had was that an auto mode would be convenient for set-and-forget folks. Even without it, I got into a rhythm quickly. Medium most of the day, high for quick cleanups, low while I sleep with the display light off. In conclusion, the Levoit Vital 100 is a practical, effective purifier that focuses on what matters: reliable filtration, simple controls, and low noise. It's not trying to be flashy. It just does its job, and it does it well. If you've been procrastinating on adding a purifier because you don't want another gadget to manage, this is the one I'd point you to. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe and drop your questions or your own experiences with the Vital 100 in the comments. Thank you for watching.